Hello and welcome to another insightful episode of the CSR Universe Leaders Talk, a space where we bring conversations that shape the future of responsible business in India. We speak with change makers, development leaders, and corporate sustainability champions who are not only transforming their organizations but also the communities we live in. And today we have a remarkable leader with us, someone who has been at the forefront of building purpose into banking and impact into growth. Ms. Karuna Bhatia, Head of Sustainability at Standard Chartered Bank India and GBS. She's also the Treasurer and Secretary on the board of United Way Mumbai. With nearly 2 decades in banking, spanning consumer banking, microfinance, wealth management, business strategy, and large scale program leadership, Karuna has steered initiatives that have touched millions of lives. From setting up wealth management channels to expanding microfinance outreach to driving one of the strongest corporate sustainability portfolios in the country, her journey reflects agility, scale, and deep social conviction. And today we speak to her about how Standard Chartered Bank is going beyond responsibility to building impact with intention. We will delve into three central pillars of their sustainability work. The first being seeing is believing, a 2 decade movement against avoidable blindness. Then we would speak about Futuremakers, which focuses on building employability and entrepreneurship for underserved youth. And of course, WASHE, which focuses on creating pathways for water security, better sanitation, and resilient communities. Together, these have programs have enabled eye surgeries for lakhs of people, supported skill building for young learners, strengthened schools and communities, and has also opened doors to inclusion that is not just measurable but meaningful. So, audience, join me as we explore her leadership vision, the evolution of these impact programs, the innovations and ground on ground stories, and how SS Standard Chartered Bank is shaping its sustainability future for India. So, welcome to the CSR Universe Leaders Talk, Ms. Bhatia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, I'd like to begin with your journey, your personal journey, since you spent around 20 years, 2 decades in banking. How did sustainability become a defining part of your journey, and how do you envision shaping that vision today at the organization?
Thank you very much. At the outset, it's a pleasure to be talking to the CSR universe. As you introduced me about my journey in banking and how sustainability has happened, it's all been quite by chance. So, I joined Angel Grindlays as a management trainee,
Mm-hmm.
and I have had more than 2 decades of banking experience. With my last role being to set up the microfinance channel for the consumer banking business, is where I had a chance to see and understand the microfinance organizations and the people who they lend to, and
Mm-hmm.
really opportunities on the other side of the economy, which in our day-to-day banking business, one doesn't have an opportunity to either understand that very well or see that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I think, where the first kind of inkling came to me that this is a sector which perhaps, you know, needs a little more of expertise and can unfold into really an opportunity rather than being looked at as, a sector which possibly is dependent purely on the funders or the donors, and that is the expertise which I felt, if it could be added in their business as usual, it would be really great. And it's not that the opportunities did not exist, but do people really invest that time to help the sector? And which is when this opportunity came, to me in the bank. uh, I gave it a very serious thought, and I took a decision that let me have a look whether it is something that will appeal to me. And of course, during my microfinance stint, there was already a liking, and I said I'm going to really see what can happen. Whether sustainability is a kind of a strong commitment by the organization, I think very much, which is also which drove me to the fact that an organization which is so committed to
Mm.
helping the communities globally and in India, it's a befitting opportunity to invest my time there. And that's really how the transition happened. It's been a decade now of the transition, and also this was before the 2% rules came into play. So I just want to highlight the fact that despite us not being mandated to
Mm.
really invest in the communities, because of the strong commitment of the bank, we were already doing a lot of work. And that's when I entered to see that work and to see where we can look at opportunities which will you know which are in need, and also the bank's capability can be stretched, and both the bank as well as the underserved community can come together. So that's really how the transition has happened.
Great, wonderful. So before we delve into deeper into the initiatives, I'd like to know that from your end that when we talk about sustainability, it goes beyond CSR now. So what does that mean for your organization? And how do you actually want to tie or you tie the focus areas that you have into India's development priorities and of course the SDGs? So how do you go about that?
Right. So, if you see the programs that we are supporting, the themes we are supporting, they're all linked to SDGs. So that is the first thing. It's not intentional, but it is the themes that we were supporting, and
Hmm.
of course we looked at how they would fit into the SDGs as well. But we didn't go out seeking that if there are 15 SDGs, this is how we must do it. And then we looked at the national priorities. What are the national priorities? What is the need that is existing, or what is the requirement in India today? So clearly, skilling and water, come out in the top three. But what may not be in the top three, but which the bank has been doing for 2 decades, is to eradicate blindness.
Hmm.
While it is in SDGs, it may not come out today as an immediate priority.
Hmm.
And why did we do it? So, if I try and connect what the bank's, let's say, key focus areas are and how they translate into the work that we do in the communities. So, skilling, like I said, is an absolute need. We know what the unemployment rates are.
Hmm.
That sector clearly needs support.
Hmm.
Water, the less said, the better. It's a great need. Close to 2 decades back, Ruchika, the bank globally, when on completion of a milestone, opened up to the employees saying that if we were to give back to the society on this momentous day, what should it be? And when they left that question out to the employees, there were lots of ideas which came. One of it being, how do we give sight back to a person? So if you ask me, what does it have to do with banking? I would say nothing. But that idea struck the bank very hard. And the bank launched a campaign saying, and at that time, globally, we were 28,000 employees only. So the
Okay.
bank said that, for every employee, we will give a site back. And we will do a one is to one. So, one is, of course, we will give site back. We will also invest in the cost of one more as a fund that we
Mhm.
would give. And that began the start of this, huge project that we have called Seeing is Believing. Hugely successful, not only externally, but among our employees. It brought a moment of pride and has continued, since then. Uh, so, Seeing is Believing clearly is India's flagship program where we are looking to eradicate blindness in India. Our work has spanned 22 years. We've completed 22 years of this work.
Mhm.
We've set up vision centers. We've done surgeries close to almost 37, 38 lakhs.
Mhm.
Uh, we've our vision centers, which are spread across 21 states in the
Mhm.
most remotest areas, are 50% of them are managed by women. So, we've taken, I think, tireless steps to reach that, which hasn't been very easy. So, that's our journey of Seeing is Believing. To reach the remotest areas, to try and eradicate blindness area by area, with the help of our partners,
Mhm.
and translate it as well into employment opportunities,
Mhm.
especially for women.
Mhm.
uh, and we'll talk more about it, as we progress. Futuremakers clearly is our program where we are looking to skill youth into opportunities that are today relevant in the market, and we've been doing this now for the past 6 years. We've got a variety of programs that we support, with the end result being, what are the uh, available opportunities today. Of course, BFSI, because we're a bank, we would, work very hard at skilling people to help them get jobs in the BFSI sector, be it microfinance and, be it banking. The other few emerging sectors have been, of course, artificial intelligence, robotics, where we've seen there is a large requirement of jobs. And the latest, which is on the on the upswing, is the EV sector. And tracking back as to where the needs are, and how is it that we should focus our energies and effort into skilling for those sectors, keeping the target in mind that if they don't really get a job, it's of no purpose of the work that we are doing. Last but not the least, we discovered that during our journey in Sing's Believing, the healthcare sector was severely impacted with people. And we said that if we're doing so much of work here, what is it that we can do to help build capability and
Mhm.
capacity in that sector?
Mhm.
And should that be with doctors? Which was not really the answer. So, as we delved deeper with our partners, we realized that the segment of paramedics officers, which is the level two to surgeons and doctors, today doesn't exist. So, if I were to put it simplistically, if a surgeon was able to do 10 surgeries on his or her own, along with the paramedics officers, he's able to double it. We also saw that the vision centers that we had set up in the remotest areas were areas, the job particularly was such where the communities were more reliant on women. They were more, responsive to women. When patients had to be screened, they had to be
Okay.
comforted to come out of their,
Mhm.
their household. The comfort of wearing glasses is no longer a stigma. And why is it important to get their eyes checked and corrected? As women today are, you know, they are the force behind a lot of rural households. Um, and then it struck us that how is it that we can build that cadre? So today we have 5 academies, which are our eye care academies, which we have created along with our partners in Delhi, Hyderabad, Bihar, Madurai in the south, to really help the underprivileged people, youth there, to get skilled in these academies and take up jobs as, managing the vision centers and managing, the operations in the hospitals, be it optometrists, be it ophthalmologists, be it vision technicians. These are all roles that, may have been there, but they were not really being focused on. And the vision technicians, of course, is a role that the Singers Bay Living program has created. So it's a segment that didn't exist. Along with the program and the need, the segment has got created by the bank, and we are training millions of people now to take up
Hmm.
opportunities. So that's the work that we're doing in the skilling sector. And when we move on to water, I think the need, the scarcity, is all available in knowledge of everyone. But what did we want to do? We said that areas which are drought resilient, they're drought ridden, how do we help them become resilient? What are some of the steps that we need to take to support these kind of projects? Because these projects are long term. Okay. We saw that not many people were supporting these projects because of the length of the project, or the impact that can be seen after many years. Water and seeing is believing aren't quick fixes. These are projects that take time, and the impact takes a minimum of 3 years to see. So we entered this foray under the brand name of WASHE, which is Water, Sanitation, Hygiene and Education, where we are trying to work with partners to help the villagers get clean water. So one is, of course, we are working to make them drought resilient. We've also, along with Piramal Foundation, set up, close to 130 water ATMs, which
Okay.
are in the absolute rural areas. These
Hmm.
water ATMs are, run with a full-fledged plant, and water is provided through a smart card technology to
Hmm.
the villagers.
Hmm.
After our funding is over, the plant has to run. So we said, how is it that we can train people, especially women, because it was a role which again fitted women beautifully. How can we create this as an entrepreneurship model so
Hmm.
that we can train women, irrespective of their age, into broad management of an enterprise. And the water ATMs are like an enterprise. What does it cost? How do you manage your expenses to ensure that it's running? So our program has, created about 32 to 34 water entrepreneurs, which are women,
Hmm.
and they're being supported with training. They're being supported with simple book management techniques, and we are helping that segment as well to
Hmm.
progress. So, this is really our total portfolio, and what we are working towards. The
Hmm.
other important point, Ruchika, that I thought I'll mention is that we have not looked at standard geographies which are easily accessible for our support. So, if you talk about difficult topographies, you talk about the Northeast region, where
Hmm.
there aren't too many supporters, and those are areas which are difficult terrain and
Hmm.
need a lot of support. So our focus always is on how do we support areas and communities where it is needed.
Hmm.
So to give you a few examples, we worked in the Sundarbans, and you would if you look back, Sundarbans has no support at all from any angle. And these are islands from where people need health support, especially. So, our Seeing is Believing program was launched in Sundarbans many, many years back,
Hmm.
where where our objective was how do we try and eradicate blindness completely in the Sundarbans. So we had a phase one where we halved the blindness of Sundarbans, and now we are running a sequel of that project, which comes to a close in December, where we would be
Okay.
able to have brought down the level of blindness in Sundarbans to a minuscule level.
Wonderful.
The other are we've set up vision centers in the Northeast and faraway areas of Bihar where there is a
Hmm.
need. And uh, and how do we help people, especially the women in that region?
Great. So I want to know, how have partnerships actually amplified the initiatives across these three domains? How have they helped you? And also, I wanted to know, how are you engaging the community so well? So, what are the tools of engagement with the communities as well as the partners?
So, Ruchika, without partners, nothing is possible. So I would say the entire credit of the work that we are able to do is because of the partners,
Mm-hmm.
because of their commitment, because of their leadership to the cause, because of their engagement with the communities, and being able to think through ideas along with us and being able to implement it. So, if I were to, when I'll give you an example, Ruchika. Uh, when we saw that the opportunity of the management of the vision centers can be with women, and we looked at our chart in terms of how many of our 650 vision centers were manned by women at that time. The number was decent, but it wasn't as strong as we'd like it to be. So today we have it at 50%. This has been intentional. By intentional, I mean it is a focused approach that our partners agreed to make,
Mm-hmm.
where in terms of capability, if there is a man and there is a lady, and if the lady is equally capable, we recommended to them that please give her that chance. And we've also agreed with them that every new vision center that we open, we must try and make that offer to a woman. So, it's also a mindset change. There was resistance. There was, a point where they were wondering whether that is going to be possible, but it was not mandated. We told them that is our vision. And if you feel that that vision can, be realized, then let's realize it together. Our partners have been great at it. And today they feel that, yes, it is a step that we have taken. So, I would say only having a vision and wanting to do it yourself is absolutely not possible.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, when you asked how do we engage with our partners, we have a regular engagement. We've got a program management team under the sustainability wing, which is, doing monthly programmatic calls with the partners to try and understand what are the hindrances to reach the goal that we have together set out to. So, when you when you set out a proposal, everything doesn't go hunky dory. There are changes that happen. There are factors that impact. It could be staffing, it could be the weather related in our water projects where we see that too much of rain
Hmm.
hinders. So, there are corrective steps that have to be taken throughout. We can't
Hmm.
expect that, you've signed a 2-year project and at the end of 2 years that,
Hmm.
you've got to show me the results. So, we've got to hold each other's hands to see where is the correction required. There could be places where we may be able to advise them, but there are lots of places where they would look at permutations and combinations to ensure that, the final goal or objective that has been set out in the proposal is being met. So it's a controlled, direct intervention that happens, and these are not desktops. So there are partner visits that are made. every
Okay.
every partner is visited once a quarter by my team and myself,
Okay.
where we see on the ground,
Hmm.
what are the problems or what can be done better.
I
I
think we
also want to
really,
know.
okay,
Yeah.
sorry, Ruchika, you were.
No, no, please continue,
No,
Shweta.
no, I actually, first of all, I just wanted to really applaud the wonderful work that the bank is doing, particularly the Seeing is Believing, your flagship program. When Ruchika asked you about that, what does it have to do with banking? And you said it has nothing. It's just, a vision that the bank had. And I'm amazed how it has stood by that vision for 2 decades and the kind of transformation it has brought about, and how beautifully you've integrated, livelihood and women empowerment into
Hmm.
that program. So mostly we get lost in metrics. So many programs do get it, but this program still has that spirit of, giving. It's so intact in that. It's wonderful. So basically, I wanted to ask about, because you've been running it for 2 decades now. So you're already talking about how it has evolved. Could you talk about some of the challenges that you've
Hmm.
faced in the program and how it altered your course? Because it's been long running, not particularly in Seeing is Believing, but even in other initiatives that you have. Any instances of course corrections, major course corrections that,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, absolutely, Shweta. Absolutely. No program can run for so long without challenges.
absolutely.
So I would say that in Future Makers or in water, the challenges have been significantly less than in Seeing is Believing. The reason has been that the model of vision centers, if I can just take a moment to explain, are extensions of the hospital. So really, it's like a franchise of a particular hospital, and to be able to manage it like a hospital was proving to be a challenge, because if you're running a particular hospital, the headcount, the staffing requirements, when people go on leave, when you have people standing by. In a vision center, because it is at such remote distance, and the headcount is restricted, if there were, our emergencies, etc.,
Hmm.
we were facing a big problem. So, the vision center would close down, or it would open for half a day or for a couple of hours. And clearly that was not acceptable. So we had to work along with our partners to really invest not only the money, but also the HR part, in how do we ensure that it is running like the hospital, because where it is in the communities, it is the only place where they can go to. So I think that was a big challenge. The second challenge, that we faced was, a project is funded only for a particular period, and after that we would lift our hand. So should the project close down? We said no. We are going to work on a model which is a cross subsidy model, which means that after my funding, which is typically for 3 years, we would lift our hands, but the vision centers would run. So today, when we look at the 650, vision centers that we have, they've been running for over a decade. Our funding has closed many, many years back, but it has retained its position and grown. This wasn't easy at all. This was our biggest challenge because we realized when we were edging out of the project and we were reviewing it after a year, we noticed that a lot of vision centers had closed down. And they had closed down naturally because the impetus of the funding just suddenly disappears. So that is again the smart management that has to be done. That how do you work on the cross subsidy so that when the partner or the donor exits, you are still standing firm and running it. So we saw a couple of opportunities. We saw that spectacles, which we may not have been, offering to the patients very openly or in a very nice kind of a manner, we introduced that. So we said, the subsidized spectacles that you would sell would also give you the revenue. The government is also having several schemes where it is reimbursing the cataract operations. So we realized that patients who had complex requirement of surgeries were willing to or had the ability to pay a little bit. So, how do you work around that model to ensure that your balance sheet is equal for it to run and sustain and grow? I think this was the biggest challenge which was there, and I think my banking experience helped me in being able to create that model with them, which today, I wouldn't say is 100% successful. We have about 85% of our vision centers today who, on that cross subsidy model, are self sustaining. Okay. But it's a journey and it's a constant journey to see, how that can be done. Another way, and another challenge that we see is that where the vision centers have opened, some of the vision centers have opened, the footfall is very limited. People don't come. And if you have a footfall of, let's say, less than 15 people coming into the vision centers, it's not going to, work out. So constantly monitoring that and, telling the partners that if the profitability of the vision center is not really, to the mark, we've got to consciously work around relocating it. We can't just sit and wait for things to happen because if we do that, it's going to be a failure. So it's now, I would say it runs like a business model. It's evaluated every 3 months, and at the end of the year, we see what the profit that Vision Center has brought in, to the hospital partner, where we feel our locations which are pulling us down, and how is it that we should either look to get in more patients into the Vision Centers or relocate it. So I would say that these are challenges that we have encountered, and we are working towards supporting them. I think very regularly. Can all partners do it? No. We do some training from partners who've been doing it for very long to the smaller hospital partners that because when hospital partners talk to each other, there's a different level of communication and understanding than when a donor is trying to drive something. So we've done a mentor-mentee model as well, where we have kept the older senior hospitals as mentors, who are taking these smaller hospitals who are our partners as mentees, and doing a year-long kind of a training with them. Because managing the vision centers is today perhaps the most difficult part of the hospital's work.
Karanchi, you also have a tie-up with the Dr. Shroff clinics. So if
Dr.
you could,
Shroff's Eye Hospital.
eye hospital, sorry.
That's
So, how do you actually take their help, especially in terms of their networking, since they have a huge network? So, what kind of partnership is that? If you can shed some light on that as well.
Yes, so Dr. Shroff's is this is Dr. Shroff's Eye Hospital in Delhi, Daryaganj. which is one of our oldest partnerships. And they do work around Uttar Pradesh and Delhi. That's their center of expertise. And we've got close to 90 vision centers with them across Uttar Pradesh, which includes Vrindavan and Mathura. And our partnership has been growing, where we have seen them deliver really quality work and quality service at the vision centers. So our project in Mathura, which has been
Mhm.
again a decade, close to a decade long project. I think from 2015 it's been on, where we started to support a client of the bank who
Hmm.
wanted help in setting up an eye wing in his TB hospital,
Okay.
and approached us after having seen our work and seeing is believing.
Hmm.
So we entered into a tripartite where we nominated Dr. Schroffs to do the implementation and setting it up. We were the donors, and the private bank client in Vrindavan gave us the premises and his hospital to start that, and that's how it all began. And we solidified our work there with Dr. Schroffs, and we took the next step, that what is it that we can do to almost eradicate blindness to the maximum level
Mhm.
in Mathura and Vrindavan, which is also such a religious area, and
Hmm.
being able to give sight back there is, we thought, such a noble cause. And also we saw that that location was again needed um,
Hmm.
too much of support, which
Hmm.
wasn't very forthcoming. After having done that, just 2 weeks back, we've launched the Eye Care Academy there with Dr. Schroffs, where we are looking to, give the uh, local youth, especially women,
Hmm.
opportunities to become paramedics, officers, try and become an ophthalmologist,
Wow.
optometrist. So get trained at the Eye Care Academy with Dr. Schroffs, and then take up jobs in the hospital and the vision centers. So I think the partnership has been absolutely great, and there are some partners with who you can expand your relationship, given their level of approach, given their commitment to the society and the quality that they deliver.
Okay. Also, just wanted to know what are some of the visible shifts that you've seen on ground, especially with future makers, and of course, seeing is believing, where you are trying to address the skill gap along with healthcare problems and also enabling economic inclusion. So, if you could share some impact stories also, if you have a personal story that could inspire our stakeholders.
I think in the employment part, if I were to talk about it, I'll start with seeing is believing and then move on. I think the journey has been transformational, uh, because our network of partners are all across. The other thing that we've introduced is that we've created the segment of the vision technicians as an important segment, which didn't
Mm-hmm.
exist. So today, if you look at the healthcare, it's only doctors, right? Nobody's heard of paramedics, officers, or what is their career development that could happen. We
Mm-hmm.
said that if we want to grow that, and that's a community uh, which is young, which wants to grow, but we've got to show them a path. Since we are focusing a lot on women, we
Mm-hmm.
realized that there was also attrition. Uh, Girls would get married, they would need to move out, etc. And
Mm-hmm.
then all the effort that has been put in uh, was going waste. So we said that, because we've got 650 vision centers, we made an offer to the women vision technicians and the men vision technicians that tomorrow, if you get married, you're going into a location which is different from where you belong. These are the list of vision centers that we have, and these are the areas where we are doing work. And if if you want to, you can join our vision center there. So it was an opportunity that we provided, rather than wanting to lose a person. So it all requires a lot of effort and buy-in from the person, because it's all easy to shut your bags and go away, but the level of confidence and investment that has been made, you also have to stand by the person there and help him or her guide through the process of another role. uh, we've found a lot of success in it and a lot of
Hmm.
gratification in doing that. In our other program, where we are looking to skill people in the other areas, I think retention is a key, and we are monitoring that. That today, after the person has got an opportunity, how long is he or she retaining the job? And the thing is, wherever the person has been given a role, whether he or she quits and goes to another role doesn't matter. We want to see that the person is, trying to hold on to that job. It's really difficult, especially when there is youth who are coming from smaller areas and they are picking up opportunities in a Bangalore or a Hyderabad or a Mumbai. It's not easy at all. It's really not easy. Entrepreneurship is one. How do you help people retain a particular business? But in the healthcare, we saw that the loyalty was immense. And
Okay.
women and men were very proud to wear the white coat in their communities, and we called the mini doctors. In areas in Telangana, we've got futuristic vision centers, which means that the highest end of technology is available on that vision center. And patients who come in can teleconsult with the surgeons
Hmm.
in the hospital. We are doing this in Hyderabad with LV Prasad Eye Institute, which
Okay.
is one of the biggest institutes in South Asia, and it saves on time, it saves on money. It gives the patient an opportunity to feel that when he or she is walking into the vision center, he's walking into a place of class where he is going to be responded to without really, uh, wanting to travel miles,
Hmm.
waste a couple of days, waste a lot of money. And so, innovation is the key. We've got to keep doing that as we move along, where opportunities exist. So, really, this is how we've expanded the program and realized that if there is a level of loyalty that exists uh, in this segment, why shouldn't we invest in that more to help many more
Absolutely.
people get those jobs?
Absolutely. So, as we look ahead, and this is my concluding question, what is the next chapter for Standard Chartered Bank's sustainability strategy and the bank's development roadmap? What can we expect from you?
My God, such a difficult question, Ruchika. Strategy, etc. Uh, Whatever we have done, we want to
Mhm.
just grow. I don't think we are wanting to move away from our strategy. We are very focused. We don't want to change anything. We want to find innovative methods of
Hmm.
growing that and reaching out to people who need support. So it's just about when we talk about seeing is believing per se. We would say that we've helped set up the vision centers. We have helped make them profitable. We are helping women get jobs there as a new job segment availability. We are
Hmm.
helping women in their transfers get jobs in the other vision centers. We have made the vision centers futuristic to be able to provide high end technology. Uh, we have gone to areas like the Sundarbans, which are really neglected in terms of support.
Hmm.
We have to keep innovating areas and opportunities in that segment. That's what we want to do. We want to see what more help is required there, and how do we multiply that into helping the communities as much as we can.
Wonderful. I'd like to thank you on behalf of the CSR Universe team, Ms. Bhatia, for your
Yeah.
time and the perspective of the conversation was truly inspiring. And we appreciate the kind of leadership you have shown. And we also look forward to seeing that your work reaches more people, more communities, and creates deeper impact in the years ahead. So thank you once again for
Thank you
joining
very
our
much,
show.
Ruchika. May I invite you and the team, Shweta, to visit one of our vision centers, which are women led,
Yes,
and see for
Absolutely.
absolutely.
yourself the work that is happening. And I'll
Sure.
be very happy to hear any more ideas that you may, want to support us with to make this a really a bigger game changer than it already is.
Absolutely. We are always there to support you and your wonderful work. And we wish you all the best once again.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.